around with the schedule this season?
You know, I don't think it'll mess around with the schedule. I think it'll take quite a lot for games to be cancelled or postponed. But I do think it's going to cause havoc with certain players, individual players. I mean, you've seen, obviously, Mane already miss out, last game week with COVID, and there's a few players who, West Ham players who've contracted it as well. So, yeah, I think this is going to be an ongoing trend. And again, going back to the point of, it kind of reinforces the fact to save your transfers and, make your transfers as late as possible.
Yeah.
This season, I mean, it's a no-brainer this season. I mean, people kind of worry about team value and that kind of stuff, but I think this season, I think you have to kind of put that in the back burner, really.
Excellent, fantastic stuff. And the last question we've got for you, FPL Salah, it's a big one. You've got 1 minute for this one, but if you had one tip that would help people instantly do better at FPL, what would that tip be, other than obviously listening to this show?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. No, honestly, I'd say look at underlying stats. I mentioned earlier about all the noise and overthinking, but see the stats that I primarily look at when looking at a player is shots in the box, shots on target, and expected goals and expected assists. I mean, I found that looking at these, it correlates quite highly to actual FPL points. So that's the stats I usually look at. I mean, you can talk about the eye test and things like that as well, but I mean, you're not going to get a chance to watch every single game, unless you've got a lot of time in your hands. But so when I look at underlying stats, that's the stats I look at, and that's what I'd base my transfers on as well. I mean, just for example, if Salah's always going to have great underlying numbers, but if he's not scoring, that but he's still got good underlying stats, you're going to keep him. But if that drops off a cliff, then something's wrong, and you might need to kind of rethink that. But yeah, just look at key underlying stats and not overthink it.
That's very sound advice, FPL Salah. With that, I will just say again, thank you so much to you for your time today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on, guys. Cheers.
A pleasure talking
Thanks
to you.
Thanks very much.
Salah.
It's been great.
Thanks, listeners.
You too, guys.
We'll be back next Monday. And until then, have a great game week 5.
Way.
Hey.